Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show. Yeehaw!
The Southern Fried Podcast, among its many programs, also has a sports program. You may not have realized that. It comes on each and every Saturday night at 8 p.m., where we cover baseball, college football, pro football, fantasy football, and much, much more. We love to get on and talk about our favorite teams. For, of course, Cowboy Cook, it's the Dallas Cowboys, and for me, it's the Atlanta Falcons. We both like Georgia, as well as he likes Alabama, and we come together and like the Braves together. So join with us. Let us know your faves and what you like about what's going on with your team. We'll try to cover all of the NFL and as much of the college football world as we can, especially the SEC. Absolutely. Can't wait for the season to start. Join us each Saturday night at 8 p.m. Eventually, this show may be live, but for now, we're recording that, and we hope that you'll stay tuned and catch that program whenever you can. And get excited because the season is here. We're in the middle of preseason football, and the camps for the colleges are there, and we're ready for the games to begin. Join us on the Southern Fried Podcast sports show each and every Saturday night. All right, and here we are. We're coming to you on this through the week. Not live yet, as we said in the intro there. We're not live yet, but we are recording, and we'll air this on Saturday, SFP Sports. And this week, we're going to talk NFL football, talk about some news and notes that are going on, and also we're going to talk about week one of the NFL season, kind of go through that. I've got my special guest here, Cowboy Cook. He's Roy Cook. He's got on there. He's Cowboy. He's got himself muted though. We got to get him unmuted there. He accidentally must have fat fingered the thing. There he is. You know, it happens, man. I knocked the mic over the other day during a devotional, and me and Robert have cut ads for vet or devotion. I think devotion for me and a pet for him. And we had ourselves drop down off a stage, and it didn't record none of the audio, so we had to recut it. So that's all part of that you know that you get used to recording and doing a podcast and all the little things. And it helps to have the extra folks when you're running all the controls yourself. They're not hard, but it's easy to get kind of mixed up. In fact, I had the background there earlier, and that's a new ad for us. And I was thinking, why didn't it play it? Oh, I thought it's just the background. So I popped it up there. Hey, Cook, how you been, brother? I know you said today you don't have to talk about it, but I know you had to go to the hospital a little bit. I hope you're feeling better, man. I hope things are better for you. And how you doing today?
Yes, I can walk better today, and praise God.
Amen. Amen. Well, I'm getting excited about the season coming. You know, I know, and there's people that maybe watch this program or maybe not. But there are people that's very vocal about that they quit watching the NFL a couple, 3 seasons ago, whenever the kneeling was going on. And, you know, without getting into the controversy, I didn't like those things either. It just seemed to take away from the games. And I'm not watching sports for political things or cultural things, really. And I know NFL, they really get into that. NBA does, and maybe the others do as well. But I think these two lead. And I just want to watch a game. I'm not speaking against those things, but I'll be honest. There's a lot of times I just turn on the TV when the game starts. I don't even listen to the early game commentary. Sometimes I do. Again, I'm not taking a hard stance, but I don't care for some of those things. It just seems to me it gets in the way of what I'm looking for is just a good football game. So, yeah, we're excited. You know, we're going to talk about the first week and kind of dig into that in just a few minutes. But Cook, there's a little bit of news been going on this week, and both of our teams have kind of been caught up into that. And first off, I guess the first thing we should maybe look at is that for the Cowboys, they've got a very good, I guess we could say elite, right, receiver that's not in camp, right?
Yeah.
He's holding out and he wants more money. Now there's news on that front. Now I just pulled this up from Bleacher Report, but they say they have offered him slightly under 33 million per season. Oh, sounds good, don't it?
Yeah.
But
Sounds great.
that is a little less than the 4-year deal that Justin Jefferson got earlier this year. And so it would be 35 million versus 33. I guess CD and his agent and family will just have to decide if they're willing to take a little less and be number two, or if they want to set that record. I just reading the tea leaves, Cook. I think they're going to want them to bump that. I just believe he knows his value. He knows. Would you agree that he probably thinks he's better than Justin Jefferson?
Oh,
On
absolutely. He said he's the best wide receiver in the NFL.
Okay, that's my point. Why would he take the 33 million when he could get to 35? And by the way, Justin Jefferson, we're going to talk about this in a minute. They've got quarterback issues, like we thought they would. Everybody kind of jumped on that bandwagon of the Vikings are going to, they. Who cares if Cousins went to Atlanta? We've got this, we got that. We're going to talk about that in a minute. But I will say, and I'm an outsider looking in. I'm not a Dallas Cowboy fan, but I am a football fan. And I'll say this, and I know they're going to get a deal done. Jerry is not. He's not going to let this go into the season. I just can't see it. But we can say this: if anything happens and they can't come to a deal, Cook, they can't win the Super Bowl without this guy. They have to have CD Lamb.
No, they can. That'd be devastating for a Cowboy fan. There's no way they can win anything, really. Not even the playoffs. I think that knocked the playoffs out.
Very possible. They've got a lot of talent on that team. They did bring Zeke back, but he's the key. He's the key. And the quarterback. He's the key. He opens up that offense, and he is a defense buster. This guy has been a stud in college, and he's been a tremendous stud when he got into the pros. This is just he would be slightly ahead of. The article goes on to say A.J. Brown, which is a guy that I have liked from Philly now, or was obviously with Tennessee now in Philly at 32. Amon-Ra St. Brown would be just slightly under that at 30, just slightly ahead by just a little bit of money on Tyreek Hill at 30 million per. I just think, and of course, deals are going to be broken after one's made. But for the day, for that moment, I just think that CeeDee Lamb's going to say, like you said, I'm the best, and I'm going to get the best money. Yeah. And you only are here.
36 to get him.
Okay.
He wants to set it. He wants to get more than anybody.
Yeah, I can see him wanting to bump it up just a little bit, so that they'd have to work really hard to get it past there. But ain't this amazing? Let's just say this before we move on. Ain't this amazing, this amount of money? Remember when quarterbacks started getting into this region of 30 million, 33? Everybody was like, oh, man, these contracts are getting out of control. And now we're seeing receivers get that, at least elite receivers. And all of those receivers I mentioned are elite. They are they make the deal for their team. And so CeeDee Lamb is definitely there's problems there for that. Well, I want to before we go over the Falcons, because I want to talk about the Falcons just a little bit. But Cook, there's another issue that has arose when we were ranking some of the quarterbacks, and we said that. At least I said, I remember, I thought that J.J. McCarthy was ranked a little too high, that people were jumping on that bandwagon a little too fast. And now they've had to sign Matt Corral because they've had to place JJ on injured reserve. If you want to follow this article, NFL.com. And of course, Corral was no slouch. He was a 2022 third round draft pick of the Panthers. But
Yeah.
McCarthy, season-ending injured reserve on Friday, which is today. That's a heartbreaker. Now, I'm not rooting in any way. I don't want to see any player hurt,
Right.
but that's devastating to that team because they thought that JJ was going to be the guy to come in and replace Kirk Cousins, and he may, but it'll be next year. It won't be this year. And
No,
of course,
sure.
Corral is not looking to. They're not looking him to be the starter. He would be the backup. Cook, how do you feel about this if you're the Vikings? Sam Darnold, Nick Mullins, and Jaron Hall. I mean, that right there. Okay, Darnold is the guy. Mullins is serviceable, nothing special, I don't
would
think.
say that Jefferson, that will hurt his production a little.
Oh, there's no doubt.
Yeah.
Even though he's going to.
That's not top quality quarterback.
No. And Darnold has talent. He has talent, but the problem is that he stays hurt.
Yeah.
He gets hurt a lot.
Yeah.
What's the guy that came in and he played really good for Philly there at one point, and he went to a couple other teams? I can't. Wentz had all kind of talent, but he would run up in there like he was a running back, and he was always getting hurt. He'd hurt his ribs. He'd hurt his shoulder. I mean, this guy was getting banged up, and by midway through the season, he was missing games. Wentz.
Yeah,
so
I think he got hurt in a playoff game or something.
Yeah, and
the score.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
He was out.
Of course, Philly moved on to Hurts, but the point is that this is going to hurt the production of that team. It's going to hurt the production. Now, again, McCarthy's a rookie, but I'm telling you, they had really banked on this guy coming in. I don't know if they were looking at him at week one, but I kind of think the fans were. They were wanting him to take week one, J.J. McCarthy out of the University national champion Michigan Wolverines. That hurts to say. God, I wish we could have had Georgia play them. But
he
anyway,
pretty good when he played the preseason. I know it's preseason.
He did.
Good.
He did, and I'm not putting the kid down. I think he had a lot of talent. I just wasn't sold that he was. They were making him. They were making him elite already. I don't know. I just.
Oh no. I think he's pretty good. He's not elite. Nowhere near.
Now I'll say this: Corral he's nowhere near as big as McCarthy and Darnold, but he's got some legs and he has a really good arm. From me watching him in college, and of course he hasn't got a whole lot of opportunity in the pros. But anyway, I just think this right here, it could destroy the Vikings season, at least playoff possibility. I just have to seriously doubt that. Well, Cook, let's swing. Let's see, we went Dallas, and then we went all the way up to Minnesota. Let's bring the SFP sports van as we travel around the NFL camps. Let's come all the way back down to Atlanta. Atlanta, of course, earlier in the preseason, lost Rondale Moore for the season. Just a killer break for him and for the Falcons. He was not the number one starter, but they really was hoping that he would take pressure off of London and Pitts, and they've got some pieces there. I'm not certain that the Falcons might not make a move here, but they didn't make it on the offensive side of the ball. They feel like, hey, we got the guys. They were trying to shore up that defense, and they jump started in the same week. They went and got from New England the pass rush guy Jadon. Nice move there, man.
Yeah.
Now they did, and of course they lost their third round draft pick to injury. It happens. Injuries are going to happen, and they lost that guy, so they went in and made a trade for this guy. It improves them. I mean, it improves them.
You're going to see the difference he'll make on the field, and you're going to really love it.
I know we've been screaming for this, and then in the same week they went and signed a free agent that was sitting out there, Simmons, who has sitting on 30 career passing interceptions that he has for his stat line, and they went and got him to pair up with Jesse Bates. This defense is looking pretty good, my man. I tell you, even though they people say, well, you lost a couple. I like what they've done in the draft, and there's some second and third year players I think will really turn it on. Now, there's a guy in the first preseason game, one of the guys they were counting on, he's going to have to step up. He hasn't really gotten with it yet. They were hoping for a big jump for him. But overall, I think this defense, which was very solid last year, I'm hopeful that it might take a little step forward. But if that offense can just remain consistent, the defense is going to look even better. But we definitely needed some help back on that back end. We definitely needed the pass rush help. Let's cross our fingers.
Right.
Walk around the training camp. No more injuries. No more injuries for the Falcons. But that's just a heartbreaker for those players. You hate that that happens like that. Now, I'm just perusing here. And there are, let's see, there's some players that's missed practice. That's going to happen. Nothing major right now as far as news as I look at NFL.com. I just wanted to touch on a couple of things. But, Cook, we're only, this is August 16th as we record this, just the day before we post it, or it's be posted and play on Saturday night at 8 o'clock. We're not that far from the season. We've got week 2 preseason this week. Be good. I don't really get into, preseason is not about wins and losses. It's just about watching your team. And let me pull up just for a second. Let me get over there and look at just a little bit of this preseason action for week 2. The Falcons tomorrow at 12 have the Ravens. Interesting. That's interesting that they'll be playing against them. And early game, I'm going to catch some of that, before I got to go to work. Tomorrow at 4, we've got the Lions and the Chiefs. That's another really good, even though it's preseason, it'd be interesting to see how that matches up.
Yeah.
Of course, the Eagles beat the Patriots 14-13. You got the Bengals and the Bears, the Giants and the Texans, Vikings, Browns, Bills, Steelers, Cardinals, Colts, Commanders, Dolphins. Nice matchup there. Jets, Panthers, Seahawks, Titans. I like that one. Rams, Chargers, Buccaneers, Jaguars. Cowboys have got the Raiders tomorrow night at 10 p.m. on the NFL Network there, Cook.
Yeah.
And then Sunday night, we've got a twofer. They both start at 8. One is on Fox, one is on the NFL Network. We've got the Packers and the Broncos and the Saints and the 49ers. So there's your slate of week 2 preseason games. And there's a week 3, and then that's it. They shortened it, remember? We're used to them 4 games. So honestly, week 2, you might see the starters in there just a little bit longer in the first of the game because they like to get them a good before that last game when they really are doing their deep evaluation. So they got to do those heavy cuts. I mean, all the teams are running over right now. Got to get down to that 53-man roster. Be a lot of cuts, man. Going to be a lot to pick through getting ready for the season. Now, any comments about the preseason so far? Anything stand out to you?
No, just this is a Dallas thing, but it's Overshaw. He's got a hip issue, and last year he missed the whole season with an ACL, so that's kind of not good to know that he's got another injury. I don't think it's serious, but still not good. He's out a whole season. His rookie year for ACL.
Yeah, you just hate that. These, there's a lot of injuries you can overcome pretty quickly, but then you got ACL, MCL, and those pesky Achilles heel injuries. Very hard to get over. Of course, we got 2 quarterbacks trying to come back this year from the Achilles heel, and they're both very old for quarterbacks. Aaron Rodgers and Kirk Cousins. We wish them well. Obviously, me for Cousins and the Falcons. But let me just stay with the Falcons here real quick. I do like what I see. He's not ready quite yet, but I do like Penix, man. I think here's what I see in the future. No, I'm not pushing Cousins out of the way at all. Here's the marketing plan for the Atlanta Falcons. This is the poster board. You always got those new posters for the season. very soon you're going to see a poster board and it's going to be filled with this. You're going to have Michael Penix at quarterback on that poster. You're going to have, of course, Bijan Robinson as the running back. You're going to have Drake London as the wide receiver and Kyle Pitts at tight end. That's the four guys that's going to be on that Atlanta Falcon poster board. And you know what? They're all young and they're all just uber talented. And that's a nice look for the Falcons to have for the future if they can stay healthy. They've got a great core. Now, I'm not leaving any, there's some nice pieces in the running back room and receiver room, but I'm saying this is this is your marketing. This is on the front of your week one programming for 2025 for sure. Obviously, Kirk Cousins is there right now, but I really believe by 2025 Penix is going to be starting. I could be wrong, man. And I'm not. Again, that's not a knock at Kirk Cousins. I hope he has a tremendous year. I just think, like Rodgers, I think these injuries are going to catch up, man. Especially for Rodgers.
Yeah. What you really don't want is for your quarterback to get hurt and then then the other one has to come in, which I know everybody wants that, the fans, Falcon fans, but you don't want to. You want to kind of get him in a little bit slower than that.
Yeah, I agree, and Cousins is the man. He'll get spelled if he gets banged up. He has to come out for a play or two. If he was to miss a game or two, I think Penix is the guy that comes in. I think he's already established that he's going to be that guy. And I don't want a quarterback controversy in Atlanta, but I do think that we went from really struggling to have consistency there to now we have two guys that can do it, and everybody who really jumped and yeah, it's a lot of money. And yeah, it kind of puts a weight around their neck a little bit. But I'm going to tell you what, you can't win without a really good quarterback. Yeah. And I think in the long run that this is going to be looked at as this was a wise thing to do to be ready for this. Because I always saw Cousins as a 2-year guy anyway, not a 3-year guy. I really believe that.
Yeah, I think that the Falcons have done personally better than. I think they've done better on this offseason than they ever have that I know of.
Well, you got the new coach, got a new staff, got that Rams offense coming in. It's exciting, man. I got to tell you, they have really brought some excitement, and I just think that this should put a lot of smiles on Arthur Blank's face. Not a lot of people don't like Arthur Blank, but he does get involved a lot. He's kind of got that Jerry problem. But they have spent the money. They have a great product. They got new stadiums. It's a first class organization in that respect. If the Falcons can just keep this momentum up, I think they're in great shape, and it's going to be fun and exciting to watch this year and then for the next several years. I believe. I really do believe, and they need to draft really strong. Yes, they got to continue to draft strong. So yeah. Well, Cook, let's say we jump over to week one and just kind of walk through these games, and we're not going to give a hard pick, but let's talk about who we like in these games. We'll just go. We won't spend a lot of time on any one, but I do want to go through them. The season kicks off September 6th. A very unusual game. Great teams involved: Green Bay and the Philadelphia Eagles playing in Sao Paulo, Brazil. And it's interesting. They both wear green. They can't wear green in this game. So they'll have to come up with. I'm sure they got something figured out.
Yeah, NFL slipped on that a little bit. They should have do that.
I'm sure they'll have it all figured out by the time the game is. That'll be an 8:15 kick. Won't make a lot of fans happy because it's going to be on the Peacock network. That's going to be controversial, but that is your first game, Friday, September 6th. That'll be a big blowout kind of thing, or excuse me, that's the second game. Let me back up because I got all excited to talk about that. It's the Thursday night we always kick off on. Another great matchup, Baltimore and Kansas City. So let's talk about those two games here. The rest of the slate is on Sunday. So we got Thursday, we got Friday, and I got so excited to talk about Green Bay and Philly and their uniforms. I forgot about Baltimore and KC. I have picked, I've said this, Cook, I have picked Baltimore to win the Super Bowl.
Yes, you
That's
have.
my pick.
And that's a very good pick.
But I'm going to tell you, in this game, I think KC wins. It is an Arrowhead. I will say this. I think KC is going to win this game, but Baltimore is going to win. KC wins the battle. Baltimore wins the war. That's my Dave Super Bowl pick. I don't know why. I just feel like the pieces are all there. Jackson is going to put it all together. He's not going to have the slip up he had before. And it was just really a lot of it too was play calling. If they just keep running the ball, they win that game. They'll correct all that. Kansas City's, you don't count them out, but I see them winning this game. Baltimore winning the Super Bowl. That's a long range out. But what do you see there, Cook?
I think Kansas City last year, if that's any indication, they always start off a little slow at the beginning of the season. So I think the Ravens will win.
Okay, it's a good point there, and it can be true. I'll stand on my KC pick though, but this is a toss up. This is a tough game. Okay, then the Green Bay Philadelphia game. Green Bay's really been coming on. I mean, like gangbusters. But I think
they put it on Dallas last year. That hurts still.
Yeah, and nothing against them, but I think Philly's going to be playing with their hair on fire. They're mad. Philly is not happy. They're mad. They know they've got to do more this year in the playoffs, and I think they come out and I think they win this game. I really do. So again, it's in Brazil. Odd things, but I do think that I think that's where they're going to be. As far as week one, what do you see there?
Oh yes, I believe Philly will win. No question.
I just think at this point, Philly's got just a little bit more power, just a little bit more power in that than Green Bay. A little bit. It's not a lot, but that's all it takes. Is it doesn't take a whole lot. So yeah, I just think that that's probably what you will see with that. So we're both kind of on the same track there. And as we get into the season, then you've got that Sunday, which all the games now. Boy, Atlanta does have Pittsburgh, and that's they've got
a.
They are
good moves and a lot of good stuff.
It is in Atlanta. And the last time that the Steelers played the Falcons, which was last year, they drummed them, man. It was 24-0. So I think
that's not going to happen again.
No, I don't think that's going to happen either. It is in Atlanta. I'm taking the Falcons week one against the Pittsburgh Steelers. What you got?
Absolutely. I'll take the Falcons. But Pittsburgh's up and coming, and about mid-season, you don't want to play Pittsburgh, I don't think.
No, that's nothing against Pittsburgh. I just think Atlanta's going to be more ready. Game number 2, or really 4, as we're looking at but on that Sunday, game 2, Arizona Buffalo, another 1:00 game. Arizona's got some nice pieces going on, but I'm gonna ride with Buffalo on this one. I really am. I just think that this is Buffalo's game. This game they haven't played for 4 years. It was a very tight game, but I think that this is going to be. I think this is Buffalo's game. So, what do you got there?
Yes, I believe Buffalo for sure.
Okay, all right. Well, this one I'll say I have no doubt. Well, you never know. Quarterback health. 1 o'clock game also, Tennessee Titans and Chicago Bears. Of course, Chicago's got the new Wonder Boy. I'm not saying that in a derogatory way, but
Right.
the excitement of a rookie, a number 1 draft pick, he has thrown some dimes. He's looked good in the preseason,
Yes.
but I
He did look
just
pretty good.
he did, but it's still Chicago, and I don't think they're ready for this. Tennessee has got some things they've got to work on, but I think overall Tennessee's better right now. And it would be a little bit of a shocker if Chicago pulled this off for me. But man, would Chicago Bears fans be just unlivable to be with if they
Oh
win this
yeah.
game against the Titans?
We're
You know
going
what
to
I
the
mean?
Super Bowl.
Kind of like the Tennessee Volunteers. Sorry, Tennessee fans, but y'all do anoint them national champions every year. At least some of you, not all of you. Don't let me paint that brush. But I see Tennessee winning this game. What do you say?
Yeah, Tennessee, pretty much.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not saying Chicago can't win the game. That's NFL, and but
Chicago's
that's the
got some
second.
good wide receivers.
Yeah, and Levis, he's second year. He has dealt with injuries. They don't have Derrick Henry there, but they got some nice pieces in that backfield. I really like. I just think Tennessee's a little more polished in this, and I honestly think their defense is better than Chicago. Well, we just made the trade with New England. The Falcons did at 1 o'clock. New England and Cincinnati. I just don't know what to think about. I don't know what to think about New England. I mean, do you have a handle on where they're at? I mean, this team went from all world, just knocking it out of the park every year, bulldozing over people, to now it's they'll come up and play a really good game, and then they look really bad. Of course, Belichick has moved on, and I just don't have a good feel for New England right now. I got to really see them. I mean, do you
I
see it
think
different?
whatever their record was last year, they might win 1 or 2 games more, but not much of a difference.
Yeah, and Cincinnati, I mean, they've really got a lot of great pieces. If Burrow's healthy and doing good, I'm going Cincinnati in this game. I will
Oh,
pick some up.
absolutely.
I will pick an upset or two in this first game because there's always some, but I don't see it being here.
Yeah.
I see
Okay, I
Cincinnati
want
is
to touch on a fantasy thing for just a second.
go right ahead.
I got T. Higgins as well as you know, and it's very hard to cut T. Higgins with Burrow back and looking good because they're a big connection. Yeah, I just wanted to say that.
No, you're right, and they have some nice pieces. They really do. Um, a team that I really like, the Houston Texans against Indianapolis Colts. This is a really strong matchup. Two teams they're really starting to move forward. Indianapolis they got their running back. He's doing good. Um, this game is at Lucas Oil Stadium. I'm going to say here, and I just think this game is a lot closer than some people might think it's going to be. I'm going to stay with Houston. I just think that it's going to be theirs, but they better watch Indianapolis. Indianapolis could shock them, but I think Houston's got this game. It'll be tight. It's a squeaker, field goal, maybe a touchdown, but I'll say a field goal difference. Just as I feel right now, I might change that before the season starts, but I think that's where I'm at right now. What do you say?
I say Texans.
Yeah, I think so.
They're scary. That quarterback, I don't know. He's a lot better than I thought he was.
Oh yeah,
I didn't know much about him.
And they're putting the pieces around them.
Oh yeah.
All right, here is a game that you could call this an upset. I'm not sure. They're both very good teams. Just depends on how you look at it. Jacksonville and Miami, another 1 o'clock game. Miami's really talented. Tua, and of course they've got the running backs and Tyreek Hill and all that. But I'm going Jacksonville Jaguars here. I think Jacksonville wins this game. I really do. I like what Jacksonville's doing. And Miami just seems to play sometimes not as a team. Does that make sense? They just seem like they're
yes.
they'll be all together. They'll just destroy somebody, and then it's like they can't figure out how to run their offense or something. I don't know what
Very
to say.
inconsistent with all that talent.
Yeah, exactly. Very, very good way to put that. Very inconsistent. I'm going to go with Jacksonville here, but this is a toss up game. But I'm going Jacksonville. I just think Jacksonville is going to play a little better on defense, and I really like the way the Jacksonville offense has come together. They won't blow you out, but they will control the ball and take you up and down the field. Where Miami is more of your fast break kind of team. Sometimes they like to strike deep with Tyreek and all that. They'll get their shots. But I think overall, Jacksonville, Miami might even be winning this game at halftime, but I see Jacksonville coming and winning this game by the end. Okay, here's two teams I hate. I'm sorry.
I'm going to take Miami.
I'm sorry, I didn't ask you. Miami? Okay. I think you could go either and you're fine. Pardon me there. Two teams I hate, Carolina and New Orleans. Can they just both lose? Sorry, Saints fans and Panther fans. I just grew up hating both teams.
Yes.
So anyway, Carolina's not ready. New Orleans has had issues, but I'll give New Orleans the lead on this game. I just think that Carolina's still working to get back to respectability, and I'm going to go with New Orleans.
Yes.
The Aints. We're old enough to remember when they were putting the bags on their head and sitting in the stadium.
Yep.
The Aints. Okay, I did like Drew Brees. I did like. There's some players that I like on the team. Of course, Alvin Kamara. But just don't like them. They're fun to argue with at a ball game. They're fun to kind of have some trash talk with. But I'm sorry, I just don't like these two teams. Your former Bama boy. Hopefully that he's got a lot of talent. He just needs some help, man. He was running for his life last year a lot, and I don't know if they've done some things, but I'll say it's to be seen. Let me see them in the regular season. I'm not sure where they're at. I think they're going to struggle again myself. Maybe a slight improvement, but I don't like the owner. I don't. I think he's a jerk. I'll say that. That's my opinion. I think that Carolina, I mean, they had it all, man. I mean, they had it all at one time. That defense for Carolina at one time was just lights out. Oh, my goodness. But that was a long time ago now. All right, here we go. Minnesota, New York Giants. I'm a Giants fan. I'm going to go Giants here just because I think Minnesota's up in the air right now with their quarterback. I'm going the New York Giants to win that game.
Me too. I got the Giants. As bad as I hate to say it.
I know you hate them. Oh, man, reminiscing, you go back to Mark Bavaro and Phil Simms and the great Lawrence Taylor. I know he was.
Glory years.
I know he has always been there in his personal life. But on the field, there's my favorite player of all time, Lawrence Taylor.
Yeah.
Oh, man, nobody could hit like him from that linebacker position. I mean, there was a lot of players that come along that were right there in that same category, Junior Seau and the guy for San Francisco. Was it not Lott, but the other guy? What was it, Lott? Anyway, I'm showing my age, but I liked Lawrence Taylor. All right, Las Vegas Raiders and the Los Angeles Chargers. Man, can I flip a coin here?
Yeah. Yeah, you can.
I'm going to go to the Chargers. I just think that the Raiders still have issues. They're just not. I think Chargers win this game.
Right. But Raiders, they fight. They don't give up. They fight. I will say that.
Yeah, they do. Can you imagine if they could really get back to greatness? How amazing that would be being in Las Vegas, man. That would be the hottest ticket in town. Wow.
Yeah.
All right, let's get through the rest of these. We don't have that many to go, and we're about 40 minutes in, so we'll get this finished up. Denver and Seattle. Now, Denver is all excited because they've got Bo
Bo Nick.
Nix. Bo Nix. Bo nose quarterback. Denver and Seattle. This is a good game. Wow, man. I just is another one that's really tough for me. Both of them have
Where
to
is
kind of.
it? Do you know?
It's in Lumen Field, is where it's at. Um, the last time these two teams played was 2 years ago. Seattle edged Denver out. It could be that kind of game again. I'll go. I'll go with Denver.
Yeah,
Bo
me too,
Nix.
Denver.
Bo Nix has the breakout game against Seattle, and he's all. It's all the buzz. It's all the buzz. Bo Nix. Bo Nix. He's going. They're already excited about him.
Oh yeah.
I'll go Bo Nix because you know what? That's the way he starts out. He'll fail in the end of the year. I'm sorry. I'm sorry, Denver fans. I hope not. Not really. I'm just picking at you a little bit, but in college, that's what happened. He'd be gangbusters all year long, and then he would it would he'd fold
Yeah.
up and have a bad game. So yeah. So
Well, he looked
Denver.
pretty good in his time of preseason.
All right, at 425 on Fox Network, it's the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns. Cook, I'm gonna let you take the lead on this one.
Well, I'm a Dallas fan, and everybody knows it. They call me Cowboy Cook, and but I believe they're going to play in uh, Cleveland Stadium. I believe Dallas will lose his first game.
Really?
Yeah.
I am shocked.
Yeah.
You
Well, the
think
predictions I picked. I believe I picked.
I think you did. I'm still a little shocked, but maybe the CD Lamb rolls into the first game or so of the season. Possibility here. If he holds out into the season, that who knows? Cleveland's got a lot of weapons. They just got to put it together. Wow, I'm going to go Cowboys. I think Cowboys win this game. They're going to beat Cleveland. All right, three more, and then we're out for this episode. Washington and Tampa Bay. God, I can't. You know what? I like Jalen Daniels. I really root for this kid. Washington is a quarterback graveyard. It really is. I'm sorry. Now,
Yeah.
since the glory days, Washington quarterbacks go there to just destroy their career. I wish him the best. I'm going to give you a shocker here, Cook. Washington runs Tampa Bay off the field in this game. That's my upset game of the week. Washington beats Tampa Bay. I have nothing to back this up other than I think there's just a lot of energy in Washington and Tampa Bay, although very good. I like Baker Mayfield, but this is the kind of game where he could get flustered. He gets a little too cocky sometimes. First game,
Yeah,
Washington
he
catches
does.
them early. They shock the world a little bit. Not in Washington, maybe. They take out Tampa Bay. What do you say?
I think Tampa Bay.
Okay. What's a solid pick? It's my upset pick. All right, two
Right.
more. Sunday night on that first week, September 8th, we've got the Los Angeles Rams with, hey, two Georgia quarterbacks on the roster. Hey, Stetson, I'm interested to watch how he looks week 2 preseason. He had a bad game, 4 interceptions, but he won the game in the end. He brought her home.
Yeah, it was a real nice play.
By the way, Cook, I'm going to say this, and I'm saying this in an open podcast, and I may make some Georgia fans mad. And I don't know. I'm just going by what I read, and you got to be careful with that. But I have heard some folks talking about Stafford that I don't know. They say if you say go dogs to him, he won't say it back. That he's not the dog fan that you would think he would be. But I've always seen him to be. I'm not saying that. I'm just saying I read that. I've never heard that before. I know people get on him because, the Cali thing, and his wife has really angered some people with some of the things that she has said. And Stafford has caught some of that wash off of that. And there's a lot of that maybe going on. But I mean, he's close to Kirby. I mean, he was there at the championship game and all that. I don't know about that. But in this game, I'm going to go Detroit. I just think that team is, you know what? They're good.
Yeah.
and they're not afraid to go for it. The coach believes in them. I'm taking Detroit. What you got?
Detroit.
Detroit.
But I tell you, I think Stafford is the future.
Well, he's getting some age on him.
I mean,
You mean Stetson?
Stetson Bennett, yes. I
Well,
think
he could if he could limit the interceptions. He's got the legs. He's got the arm. I don't know. I'd love to see it. I'd love to see it.
yeah, I mean,
So
I would too, but I just think he will.
I hope so.
Or
I'm
I
rooting
hope
for
he
the
will.
kid. I say kid. I'm rooting for the young man. To me, he is a kid. All
Yeah.
right. Dun, 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 dun. The last game, Monday Night Football. Dun, 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 dun. We have the New York Jets and the San Francisco 49ers.
Woo.
I'm not a fan of either team. San Francisco should win this game. Can Rodgers, you know what happened last year, the first game? Can Rodgers rise up, the Phoenix rising up? Could he take out the 49ers? No, you're not going to win this game. The San Francisco 49ers are going to win Monday Night Football week 1. What do you got, Cook?
Yes. They'll probably blow them out, in my opinion. Even though they got a pretty good defense, but I still think they'll double digits win.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, probably. But they're not going to win Monday night. It's going to be the 49ers over the New York Jets. Well, Cook, we wrapped up week 1 there. We'll see how it goes. We talked a little bit about news and notes from the league. Let's see how this weekend's games go on, and we'll reconvene first of the week and do our next Saturday's program. I want to look back and look at the preseason games. We're going to do a week 2 wrap up. We might do 2 shows this week. It's getting hot and heavy, and we got to talk about college too. So we might do 2 programs, Cook, if you're up for it. But let's do one and we look back at the preseason games and let's talk about each one and what we've seen that we liked and what we've seen that we didn't like.
Okay.
And then we'll look in the next program. We'll look at week number 2 of the NFL starting a season, and maybe we'll look at giving predictions there. And we got to mix in some college too. We might wait another week, but let's talk NFL. And I'm enjoying it. Hey, I wish the Falcons the best. Wish the Cowboys the best. No injuries. Let's just have a good season and let's get it on.
Yeah.
Cook, thanks for joining us. Any closing thoughts before we close this program?
I'm excited that the Falcons are moving in the winning direction, and I hope the Dallas Cowboys and the Atlanta Falcons beat the San Francisco 49ers.
Hear, hear. Yes, sir. I love it. All right, my friend. You have a good night. Continue to get to feeling better. Folks, we're going to do our outro here, and then we'll see you. We'll see you soon. Thanks for watching. Like, follow, share. Come on our lives with us. Eventually, this show may be live. We'll see. But as for right now, we're just going to stay with what we're doing. Cooks, always a joy to have you, my brother, and appreciate you also coming into the streams and encouraging us on. And we'll be back. We'll be back soon, another Saturday night, maybe with 2 programs. So you sports fans, get in there and let's have some fun talking college. Baseball still out there. We'll mention that a little bit. We're going to absolutely talk NFL. So I'm still a fan, Cook. I'm still a fan. I'll be a fan until I'm dead. I like watching my Atlanta Falcons. All right. Good night, everybody. And God bless.
God bless.
Well, once again, it's time, my friends, for another meet and greet. We're Southern Fried and nationwide, so hang on to your seat. Look around, here's what I found. I guess you'll never know what you'll see on the Southern Fried Podcast Show.